What is up, Taurus? How are you guys doing? What is good? It's time for your weekly check-in. We're going to see what's happening with y'all in the 4th week of August. August week 4, boy. They're clicking along, getting closer and closer to 2026. Jump down, turnaround, it's going to be here, boy. So remember, weekly check-ins are just a short, sweet, quick, general, energetic overview. So if any of you are in need of a personal reading, you can always go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. But I have a link and all the information for everything else in the description of this video, okay? All right, let's jump into this. Let's just see what we can tell Taurus about their situation and the person they're dealing with in the 4th week of August. How's the energy looking for Taurus, universe? 4th week of August, 2025. How's it looking? Oh, 9 of Wands. Bunch of tension here. Big old bunch of tension. Who got their guard up? Is that both of you? Page of Cups reversed. Uh-oh, Devil card. You know what? This feels like a love offer being made. Yup. This feels like a love offer being made, but a love offer being turned down. With the Page of Cups reversed right next to the 9 of Wands. Feels like a love offer being turned down because I think that you highly, highly suspect that maybe this person is just up to no good. They don't have your best interests at heart. They don't have the best of intentions. And it may come as a shock to some of you, especially if this is a person you haven't seen in a while, you know? We talk a lot about whether or not a person changes. You know, if you part ways with somebody, a lot of times they don't change. But if a person does change, most of the time they change for the worse, right? Not all the time. Hey, man, there's some people out there that change for the better. You see it. I see it. But unfortunately, we're still in a world where people don't want to change for the better because that's hard. But for some reason, it's really, really easy to change for the worse, isn't it? So some of you could have been dealing with somebody with an addiction issue, or maybe, just to go way out on a limb, maybe some of you are dealing with somebody that has a newly found addiction issue that they didn't have back when you knew them, you know? Could you imagine how that would feel? Connect with somebody you haven't seen in a long time, and next thing you know, they're pulling a little alcohol flask out of their pocket and drinking. It's like, the fuck, since when do you drink? And they be drinking all day when they wake up in the morning. But something, I'm thinking that for a lot of you, this is going to kind of come as a shock. I don't think you're expecting to feel this negative energy coming from them. Something that just feels off. Something that triggers the shit out of your defenses. And, hey, maybe it's like you've learned your lesson. Okay. Could be a fellow Taurus for some of you. I also have Aquarius and Leo. Oh, I got Capricorn too. All right. Well, let's see their feelings, energies, and intentions. Person Taurus is dealing with. What are their feelings, energies, and intentions? King of Wands reversed. That's the game player right there. Ten of Cups reversed. Doesn't look like they want anything serious. You know what this honestly just kind of feels like? All they really want to know is whether or not there's even room on the table for them anymore. Like they just want to know where they stand with you, just out of curiosity. I think in their mind, they're pretty convinced that you really want to be with them, and they're just trying to have that validated. But again, then what? Then what? They're not thinking that far into it, you know? I think your intuition is on point with this person. I think so. They think about you all the time, but I don't think they're trying to have anything serious. And here's the cherry on top. And at the end of the day, this right here is what tells you everything you need to know. They are refusing to acknowledge the truth. Refusing to look at themselves. Now, there's no finger pointing here. It doesn't matter who did what. It doesn't matter who's in the right, who's in the wrong. It don't matter who did what, who's the primary catalyst for the majority of the problems, the primary antagonist. If you ain't even willing to look at yourself, you ain't gonna lay a foundation with nobody. Nah, you ain't. Nah, you ain't. But especially when you got somebody who caused a lot of problems, and they're more than likely the type of person that causes a lot of problems in all of their connections and relationships in life, and they refuse to look at themselves. Ain't nothing you can do about that. Ain't nothing you can do about that. Why in the world would you change something about yourself if you don't believe that you have a problem? If you don't see an issue with your own actions, why would you make a change? You wouldn't. Right? So, let's just grab the advice in. Let's just go straight in for the advice. Ooh, oh. I like this. I like this. So, how do I word this? Being connected to this person is serving as a vibrational blockage in your life. And right now we're talking about love. But honestly, if you really want to shift into the vibration that will attract one blessing that aligns with your highest good, all the other blessings will follow along with it if you're in the vibration. But I'm thinking that as soon as you're able to release this person and this energy, it ain't gonna be too terribly long before your person shows up. You'll be in vibrational alignment with them. I think so. I think so. And I know I'm feeling, some of y'all are dealing with somebody that's just so damn confusing. You know, there's so much left unsaid, so much unfinished business. Dude, you don't know how drastically you will transform your life if you're able to release something without the business being finished, without that apology, without them telling you that thing that you want to hear, without having a clue. You showed me your true colors. That's all I need to know. So I'm going to transmute this shit and release that. That'll turn you into a different person. So allow this to play out the way it seems like it's naturally wanting to play out. Don't try to fight the process. Don't try to control the process. And I always get so nervous when I say that, because I don't want to make it sound like I'm telling you to just be a lazy piece of driftwood floating along aimlessly. There's a time and a place for that, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you are putting forth work, energy, and effort towards something, learn how to identify the difference between whether or not I'm working to overcome an obstacle and I'm fighting against the universe. Right? But yeah, I'm thinking that releasing this energetic vibrational baggage could work miracles in your life later on down the line. Probably much sooner than you would think. Let's see what is due to come in next for the singles. What's due to come in next for the singles? Six of Wands reversed. Could be a fire sign for some of you. Oh. Okay, well, some of you do have another karmic contract that you're going to at least be given the opportunity to decide whether or not you want to go through with it. You're not bound or forced to do anything that you don't want to do. And just because it's a karmic contract, that doesn't necessarily mean that you couldn't build a life partnership. From what I've seen, I would feel safe saying that probably 70-75% of life partnerships that are happening right now are karmic partnerships. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I'm thinking that there's a karmic contract. And at least you'll be faced with the opportunity. Do I want to try to figure this contract out, clear this karma, whatever I want to do? Or would I rather say, no, you're not my person. I'm not doing this. Tell the universe, nope, sorry, I'm not playing that game. Nope. I choose not to play that game. It's up to you. Now, I don't have the authority to tell you whether or not, like, you should walk away from a karmic contract. I don't have the authority to tell you that, with very few exceptions. Like maybe if you're dealing with a very dangerous individual, right? When your safety is at risk. But I mean, let's be honest. There might be a couple of you dealing with somebody like that, but the majority of you, not really. Not really. So I really can't tell you to walk away from something. I don't even know this person's energy yet, but yeah, okay, well, it's telling me though, honestly, that a lot of you are probably going to choose to walk away from this anyways for some reason. Maybe you assume that this person would just be a bunch of drama for some reason and you don't want the drama. So you're choosing not to, is what it kind of feels like to me. Maybe there's some third party or third energy in the mix for some of you. Could be a Libra for some of you. Yeah, and the Three of Swords. That's kind of what it feels like. You're finding out about some kind of third party or some third energy, and it's like, no, I'm not doing that. No, not doing that. Sorry. I'm walking away. I would rather be by myself than stick myself in the drama of this situation. I don't know. I'm good. So, okay. Well, let's see their feelings, energies, and intentions. What's this person's truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Four of Cups reversed. Yeah, so hang on. Yeah, Three of Swords again. So they just want to be with somebody, anybody. You know that energy? That energy where all they're thinking about is the idea of being in a relationship. They're not thinking about, I really want to connect with somebody. They're thinking, I just want to be with somebody. Somebody, anybody. I don't care who. As long as the universe sends me a faceless, nameless somebody, I just want to be with some fucking body. Right? And it's more than likely because they're enduring some past heartbreak. Honestly, this feels like fresh heartbreak, but, it's going to be different for all of you. So they just don't want to miss any opportunities out there. Any opportunity that's out there, they're going to jump on it. And that's indicative usually of something that's going on in here. It's usually something along the lines of this. Yeah, see? Yeah, I think it's a past person. So, yep. Death reverse, Tower reverse, Three of Swords. There's a lot of really heavy past energy in this person's field. And it's a good old classic example of I'm in love with my ex and I can't have my ex, so I just need some fucking body, so I'm not thinking about my ex. And that's no different than running to the bar and getting drunk because you can't handle your stress. Same exact thing. They do, however, feel an abnormally strong connection with you, though. They do feel that sense of soul recognition. They feel that. But at the end of the day, this person will jump on anything. And the thing you have to watch out with that is, let's say you do, when you meet somebody like that and you do go ahead and give them a chance. Oh, I just want somebody, anybody, I don't care who. Well, you don't know. What if they find something better? Well, in reality, it's not really better, but you know what I mean. What if they find somebody that distracts them from their problems better than you? Because they're not really connecting with you. They're using you as a drug. They're using you to make them feel better about themselves. What if they meet somebody that makes them feel even better than that? You never know. You never know what else they're going to come across when they just don't care who they're with. It's not about forming a genuine connection. It's not about having a real, actual life partner. It's about just being in a relationship, All right. Okay. Well, I guess let's get some advice then. Thank you, Jacob, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. What's the advice? Well, and again, I got to be careful because I don't have the authority to tell you to walk away from uncleared karma. But I can say this. If that is what you decide to do, you got the green light. Stand on it. Stand on it. 10 toes in. Stand on that hill. Got to set boundaries, man. We as individuals got to have boundaries. Just, out of self-fucking respect. Out of self-respect, we got to have boundaries. Now, it's one thing. I'm not saying be one of those people who has this list of things that you demand. I don't really like that. I don't like that. I've never personally met anybody who has this list of demands, who's in a healthy, successful relationship. It ain't gonna fucking work like that. I'm sorry. If you got a list of demands, you're more than likely not gonna attract something that you can grow into, because, you're gonna have to grow and mold and bend and flex. And a lot of changing is gonna have to happen when you attract a life partner. But simple boundaries, common sense boundaries. It's not rocket fucking science. It's not even skateboard goddamn science. How to respect a relationship like a normal, decent fucking human being. That's why the philosophy that I live by is let people do whatever they want. Let them do what they want. If you let people do what they want, they'll show you what they want. Once they show you what they want, respond accordingly. It's common sense, common human decency, how to respect a relationship. You know, I'm like, oh, your ex is writing me? Okay. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to step back and I'm going to let you show me. What are you going to do if your ex is writing you? What are you going to do? Are you going to respond the way you would expect me to respond? Because you know goddamn good and well you wouldn't be happy if I was talking to my ex. So let's see what you do. Oh, you think that's appropriate? Okay, cool. You think it's appropriate to remain friends with your ex? That's totally cool. Okay, cool. All right, well, you go do that somewhere else then. You ain't my person. It's very simple. Very, very simple. Oh, you got all these people hitting on you in your DMs? Okay, cool. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you who to block or anything like that. You can talk to whoever you want. You're going to show me what you want. Oh, you think that's acceptable? You think that's acceptable when you got all these people flirting with you and you're flirting back? And you're entertaining other people who are flirting with you? You think that's acceptable? Okay. Well, you go do that by yourself then. You ain't my person. It's very simple. Very, very, very simple. You know, one thing we don't want to get caught up in is one of those relationships where you ever see these people who control their partner? They control them. They're constantly telling them who they have to block, who they can and can't talk to, where they can and can't go. And they got them on complete and total lockdown, always going through their phones and shit. And I look at that and I'm like, so basically you're telling me that if you let your partner do what they wanted to do, they would go cheat on you? And you're okay with that? You're okay with the fact that the only reason you're not getting cheated on is because you are blocking it from happening? You're okay with the fact that you don't have a partner that just wants to be loyal to you on their own? That's cool with you? You can lay your head down and sleep at night knowing that? I wish I had a prescription of whatever the fuck you on, because fuck that. You go do what you want to do. You talk to whoever the hell you want. You go wherever you want. You do whatever you want. You ain't got no leash with me. There ain't no fence. There's no walls. You can do and go and do whatever the hell you want. So you gonna show me what you want. If you want to go do dumb shit, that's fine. But you ain't gonna earn a spot in my life. Real simple. Boundaries. Common sense, common human decency fucking boundaries. See what I'm saying? I think a lot of you are making the right decision. That's all I can really say about that. Okay? And again, every time you make a decision that serves your highest good, that's another level up. Another level up the staircase. And you'll level up and level up and level up and level up. And when you least expect it, you'll make it to the next fucking level. All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Taurus family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down here in the description, all right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all